Assalamualaikum everyone, my name's Farah Halabi and I'm a professional Muslimah life coach, and today I'd like to ask you a question. As always, I'm a bit of a lazy parker, but why is it, or actually do you find yourself putting forward all the things you can't do, or all the things you're not good at, or all your flaws or potential faults first and the reason I'm asking is I'll give you an example. So today has been a usual day, but a lovely day. I've had some coaching clients this morning, and mashallah, that's always so different. No session is the same, nor that it should be, but there's always something that comes up that's quite unexpected. And subhanallah, there were things that came up in the conversations I had this morning that I wasn't expecting. And subhanallah, it was great. Great to see the ladies find their way through and uncover things about themselves. But what came up in some of the newer conversations that I've had, whenever I ask someone to tell me a little bit about themselves, 9 out of 10 times they'll start with what they're not good at or what they're not. Or they'll tell me about, their children or their work or their husband, or they'll tell me about other stuff. And I find it sometimes it's really difficult for them to actually tell me about themselves, because for a lot of them, they're not used to thinking about themselves in a complimentary light. I'm not going to say a positive light, in a complimentary light. They see a lot of what they do through the lens of, or they see their experience through the lens of what they're not doing well, what they haven't got, what isn't going well for them, what they aren't good at. And when we speak, so much comes out, and they say, oh, a bit boring really, nothing special. And they go on to tell me the most amazing things about themselves. So I'll ask you, do you do that? What's the internal dialogue going around in your head? Is it complimentary? Is it empowering? Is it motivating? Or is it, and this obviously, it's not the same story that goes around in our heads anyway, but when you think about yourself, what comes up for you? Do you go to your flaws? Do you go to what's not going right for you? Do you go to the things that aren't going well? Or do you think about yourself in terms of your successes, in terms of what you do? Think about it now. If I say to you, tell me a little bit about yourself. What comes up for you? What's the first thing that you would say? It's not like we go around asking people to tell us about themselves. Usually in the conversations we have, it's either with someone that we know generally, or there's a purpose for it, an interaction. But there's very few chances, unless you're opening up meetings with new people or you're networking, whatever it is. But generally, if you were to introduce yourself, how would you do it? What story percolates in your mind about yourself? And is it complimentary, or is it based on your flaws? I'm going to go and pick up my children now, so I will leave you to ponder on that. And I'd love to know what comes up for you, because I find, not with everyone, but some of the most amazing ladies that have come to me have started off with seeing themselves through the lens of their flaws, of their imperfections, of their failures even. And when we really dig deep, and to be fair, we don't have to dig that deep, but when we uncover the layers of where that's come from, this, nothing special about me and boring, uncovers gems, uncovers awesome, uncovers amazing. The real, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't create us boring or nothing special. We are super special because He chose us to be here. So I'll ask you, tell me about yourself, and how does it feel to tell me about yourself? What comes up for you? I'd love to know. If you don't want to put it in the comments, that's fine. Pop us a private message, or even if you don't, just reflect upon it and see what does come up for you. Either way, I'd love to know. And if you fancy telling me, great. And if you don't, that's all right too. But for now, as always, I pray that you are safe, well, happy and healthy. And inshallah, I'll pop on for another little conversation another time. But for now, take care. Assalamu alaikum.